What if the random signs you see aren't just the universe winking, but more like it handing you a co-pilot's license? Imagine shifting from just seeing synchronicities to actively steering with them. This is the unfiltered truth. You're about to learn how to transform synchronicities from passive observations into your most powerful tool for co-creating the reality you desire. Many of us sense a deeper dialogue with life, a hidden current. Ancient seers and even pioneering thinkers knew it. Reality isn't just happening to us, it's responding through us. Have you ever felt a nudge, a coincidence, so perfect, and wished you knew how to call forth that kind of guidance on demand? For many, synchronicities are like unexpected whispers from an unseen world, moments of awe that briefly pierce the veil of the ordinary. We spot a sequence of numbers, encounter a meaningful animal, or overhear a conversation that seems tailor-made for our current dilemma. These are profound experiences, certainly. Yet to remain solely a sign spotter is to stand at the doorway of a vast temple, admiring its architecture, without ever stepping inside to explore its sacred chambers. Within each of us lies a deep, often unspoken yearning for more than just passive observation. It's a desire for a meaningful participation in the unfolding of our lives, a sense of partnership with the very forces that weave reality. We long to feel that we are not merely subject to fate, but that we have a voice, a role in the grand cosmic play. This is the call to move beyond simply noticing the signs, and to step into the role of a conscious co-creator. The unfiltered truth is that the universe, or source, or the great mystery, however you name it, isn't just sending occasional signals from a distance. It's in a constant dynamic interplay with your consciousness. Imagine for a moment that the perceived separation between you and the universe is an illusion, a trick of the limited mind. What if instead these signs are the universe's way of saying, "I see you, I hear you, let's create together"? This brings us to the pivotal question, the very heart of our exploration today. How do we consciously activate this partnership? How do we elevate our engagement with synchronicities from a reactive marvel to a proactive, creative dialogue? How do we learn the language of co-creation, where signs become not just affirmations, but active, guiding feedback in the art of shaping our desired reality? It begins with understanding a profound principle, one that shifts everything. The ancient sages whispered of it, and even modern explorations into the nature of consciousness are beginning to echo this truth. Our focused awareness, when charged with clear intention, doesn't just passively observe the world. It actively calls forth a response from the quantum field of all possibility. You are not merely finding patterns in the static of reality. You are, in a very real sense, initiating a resonant call, an invitation to the cosmos to engage. Think of it this way. The universe isn't a distant, aloof monarch occasionally bestowing cryptic messages. It is an infinite, intelligent field, an ocean of potential that is exquisitely responsive. It's not just waiting for you to decipher its signals, it's eagerly awaiting your clear instructions, your heartfelt invitations to collaborate. This is the co-creative leap. It's the movement from asking, "What does this sign mean for me?" to "How can I partner with this sign and the intelligence behind it to bring forth my deepest aspirations?" This shift in perspective is where your true power as a manifestor begins. The journey into co-creation begins with the clarity of your call, the precision of your energetic address to the universe. So, how do you ask for, or more accurately, activate the synchronicities that will guide your manifestations? It's through the focused power of your intention. But let us be clear, intention, in this context, is far more than a fleeting wish or a casual thought. It is a directive, a concentrated beam of your conscious energy, deeply felt and purposefully sustained. It is the seed from which your desired reality will sprout, and the synchronicities, its first tender leaves. Imagine your intention not as a hopeful message in a bottle tossed into a vast ocean, but as a precise sonar signal emitted into the cosmic sea. The clarity of its frequency, the strength of its emotional charge, and the consistency of its broadcast determine the nature of the echo that returns to you. The synchronicities that will begin to appear. The universe, you see, responds not merely to the words of your request, but to the resonant vibration of your being as you make it. Crafting these magnetic intentions is an art. First, seek laser-like precision. Define the what of your desire with vivid sensory detail. But even more crucially, connect with the why, the core feeling, the state of being that its fulfillment will bring. Is it peace, joy, freedom, connection, creative expression? This emotional core is the true target of your intention. Second, embody its presence now. Formulate your intention and then feel it as if it is already your living reality. This isn't about self-deception. It's about aligning your energetic signature with the blueprint of what you are calling forth. If your intention is for a fulfilling creative role, for instance, you would state, "I am so grateful and deeply fulfilled, engaging my unique talents in this new creative endeavor, making a meaningful impact and feeling abundant joy each day." You speak it, and more importantly, you feel it from that space of already being. Finally, infuse it with your emotional signature. Joy, love, gratitude, unwavering certainty. These are not just pleasant feelings. They are potent amplifiers of your intentional broadcast. They are the energetic current that carries your signal far and wide. Consider the focused power of elite athletes. For decades, many have utilized intense visualization, a form of deeply felt and embodied intention, to mentally rehearse and shape their peak performance. They don't just think about winning, they feel the texture of the metal, hear the roar of the crowd, embody the physiology of success long before the event. This is a powerful, real-world parallel to how we can sculpt our energetic blueprint to call forth desired experiences. As the ancient Hermetic teachings suggest, as within, so without. Your inner state of being, clearly defined and emotionally charged, becomes the mold for your outer reality. And here, my friends, lies a subtle yet profound wisdom. Your intention is your creative command, your sacred request. Once you emit this signal with clarity and heartfelt conviction, the universe, this immense field of all potential, immediately begins to subtly reorganize its infinite threads to mirror your broadcast. But for this cosmic mirror to reflect your desire with pristine accuracy, your own inner surface, your own state of being, must be polished and prepared to receive. And herein lies a beautiful paradox, doesn't it? That to receive the echoes of the cosmos, we must first become a clear and silent pool within ourselves. With your intention now launched like a beacon into the vastness, how do you ensure you become the very lighthouse that draws its desired reflection ashore? How does your personal energy, your vibration, transform into the irresistible magnet for the synchronicities that will illuminate your path? Now we arrive at the heart of your personal magnetism, the energetic frequency you broadcast to the cosmos, your vibration. The question arises, what truly is the role of my vibration, and how can I consciously align it to attract the synchronicities that serve my highest intentions? To grasp this, let's move beyond thinking of yourself as a single radio station, and instead, imagine yourself as an entire, intricate orchestra. Each thought you entertain is an instrument. Each emotion you feel is a melody. Every belief you hold forms a harmony, or perhaps, at times, a dissonance. Your vibrational signature, then, is the collective symphony your inner orchestra is constantly playing, a complex wave of energy you send out into the universe. The universe, in its infinite intelligence and responsiveness, acts like a flawless conductor, or perhaps a perfect acoustic chamber, mirroring back to you the essence of the music you are emitting. If your internal orchestra is predominantly playing a somber, hesitant tune of doubt, scarcity, or fear, the synchronicities and experiences that flow back to you will often reflect that underlying cacophony. They might feel like obstacles, delays, or confirmations of those very fears. Conversely, When your inner symphony resonates with a powerful, uplifting ode to trust, abundance, joy, and love, the universe echoes this harmony with supportive opportunities, helpful encounters, and synchronicities that feel like clear, affirmative guidance. The quality of your inner music directly shapes the nature of the synchronicities that dance into your awareness. The more harmonious, coherent, and high-frequency your internal orchestra, the more melodious, clear, and joyfully aligned the universe's responsive echoes, its synchronicities, will become. This understanding is not a fleeting New Age concept. It is an echo from the deepest wells of ancient wisdom. For millennia, diverse cultures across the globe recognized and revered the profound power of sound, of sacred chant and mantra. These were not mere rituals, but sophisticated forms of directed vibration, potent means to interact with the divine, to influence unseen realms, and to call forth desired states of being and reality. These ancestors understood, perhaps with a clarity we are only now beginning to reclaim, that to truly transform one's world, one must first transform the resonant song of one's own soul. And so, the question becomes deeply personal, a call to profound self-awareness. You are indeed the maestro of this intricate inner orchestra. Are you truly conscious of the dominant score your ensemble is playing in this very moment? Are you aware of the subtle dissonances, the repeated melancholic refrains, or the soaring crescendos of hope? And most importantly, do you recognize your inherent power to pick up the baton, to rewrite the challenging passages, and to conduct your being into a masterpiece of vibrational resonance that calls forth the highest synchronicities? Having recognized yourself as the conductor of your inner orchestra, the power to refine its symphony is now firmly in your hands. Let's explore some practical ways to tune your instruments, to elevate the harmonics of your being, and thus to call forth synchronicities of a higher, more aligned order. Consider gratitude not merely as a polite sentiment, but as a master tuning fork for your entire energetic system. It is a resonance that, when sincerely felt, instantly begins to harmonize the various sections of your orchestra, attuning them to the frequency of abundance and appreciation. Begin and conclude your day by consciously identifying 3 notes of gratitude, however simple or seemingly small. Acknowledge them. Feel them. This practice alone can profoundly shift your vibrational output. Next, embrace the power of conscious silence through practices like mindfulness or meditation. In these moments of stillness, you allow the often noisy instruments of a restless or anxious mind to quieten. This isn't about forcing thoughts away, but about creating an inner spaciousness. It is in this calm, clear space that you become more attuned to the subtler melodies of your intuition and, crucially, more receptive to the gentle whispers of incoming synchronicities, those delicate signals from the universe that are often drowned out by internal chatter. Then there is the potent harmonic of joy. Actively engaging in activities, hobbies, or connections that genuinely ignite your soul and bring forth authentic enthusiasm is not a frivolous indulgence. It is a profound act of vibrational calibration. Your genuine joy, your unbridled passion, acts like a powerful resonant beacon, a clear, bright note that naturally attracts experiences and synchronicities of a similar, uplifting frequency. What truly makes your spirit sing? Make space for that music. Do not underestimate the wisdom of seeking harmony with the natural world. Spending time in nature, a walk in a forest, a moment by the ocean, even quietly observing a plant, can profoundly recalibrate your energy. Nature itself is a vast ancient orchestra playing a symphony of balance and healing. Immersing yourself in it helps your own system to reattune to these fundamental life-affirming rhythms. Finally, become a discerning curator of the energetic diet you consume. Just as a musician is careful about the quality of their instrument, be mindful of the music you allow into your personal space. The information you absorb, the media you consume, the conversations you engage in, the environments you frequent, all these carry vibrational signatures. Some will uplift and harmonize your inner orchestra. Others can introduce dissonance or lower its overall frequency. Cultivate the wisdom to choose what truly nourishes your energetic well-being. As you consciously practice these methods of tuning, you will notice a shift. Not only will you feel more centered and joyful, but the synchronicities that begin to manifest in your life will likely become clearer, more supportive, and more obviously aligned with your deepest intentions. You are learning to conduct your symphony of self with greater mastery. With your intention now clearly broadcast like a guiding star, and your inner orchestra progressively tuning itself towards a symphony of high-frequency harmony, a fascinating question emerges. How does this meticulously crafted personal resonance interact with the grand overarching principles of manifestation, often referred to as the law of attraction? Are the synchronicities you begin to perceive merely the echo of your refined inner music? Or are they perhaps the very notes that begin to compose the tangible melody of your desired reality? Now we explore the dynamic interplay between your refined personal vibration, the universal law of attraction, and the role of synchronicities as tangible feedback in your journey of manifestation. How do these cosmic principles and guiding signals work in concert? The law of attraction at its core is a fundamental principle of resonance, like attracts like. The energetic frequency you consistently emit, the overall symphony of your being, naturally draws to you experiences, people, and circumstances of a similar vibrational quality. This law is the underlying engine of manifestation, the invisible current that shapes the flow of your reality. Synchronicities, then, are the visible markers along this current, the luminous waypoints and echoing confirmations that this engine is running and responding to your energetic output. Imagine your clearly defined intention, amplified by your elevated vibration, as a powerful, resonant call echoing through a vast mountain valley. This valley representing the infinite field of all possibilities. The law of attraction is the inherent physics of this valley, guaranteeing that any clear, sustained call will inevitably produce an echo. The synchronicities you begin to perceive are these echoes. Sometimes they are soft, distant whispers, subtle affirmations that your call has been registered. At other times, they are clear, resounding returns, undeniable confirmations that your vibrational signal is not only being heard, but is actively shaping the landscape of your experience. Think of synchronicities as vibrational validation. Those small, seemingly minor coincidences, seeing a particular number sequence just as you ponder a related decision, or a song playing with lyrics that perfectly match your inner state, these are not random. They are often the universe's way of giving you a read receipt, a subtle nod confirming that your energy is aligning, that your frequency is being matched. Beyond mere validation, synchronicities serve as active navigational beacons. An unexpected encounter with someone who holds a key piece of information, an article or book that randomly falls into your lap addressing your exact question, an unforeseen opportunity that opens a new pathway. These are the universe providing active guidance. They are not just telling you that you're on the right track. They are illuminating the next few steps of that track, often in ways your conscious mind could never have orchestrated. Herein lies a fascinating insight, a bridge between the mystical and the neurobiological. Our brains are, in essence, supreme pattern recognition machines, largely governed by what's known as the reticular activating system, or RAS. This system acts as a filter, highlighting what is relevant to our current focus and beliefs. When you imbue your intention with profound emotional significance and consciously work to elevate and align your energetic state, you are, in a sense, upgrading the software of your RAS and activating a form of what could be termed energetic bioluminescence. Your heightened consciousness becomes a beacon, illuminating the pathways and connections within the quantum field that are most resonant with your intention. The synchronicities you then perceive are, in part, the tangible reflections of this inner light, making contact with the corresponding potentials in the unified field. It is a beautiful synergy of your inner world, shaping your perception and interaction with the outer. Having set your intention and begun to align your vibration, the art of co-creation deepens into the practice of embodiment. This is about more than just acting as if. It's about living the echo of your desired reality before it fully materializes in your physical experience. To live the echo is to consciously and consistently incarnate the frequency, the state of being, of your intention already fulfilled. It is not an act of pretense or self-delusion. Rather, it is a profound energetic alignment, a decision to resonate so completely with the vibrational signature of your realized desire that the universe, in its natural tendency to mirror, has little choice but to reflect that inner conviction outward. If your intention is to experience deep peace and flow, you begin by cultivating and embodying peace and flow in your daily moments, regardless of external circumstances. Your being becomes the living blueprint. Central to this practice of embodiment is the potent magic of gratitude, specifically gratitude expressed in advance. This is not merely a polite thank you for what you hope to receive. It is a powerful act of energetic claim, a declaration of faith in the creative process. When you feel and express genuine gratitude for your manifestation as though it has already arrived, you are sealing your intention with the high-frequency energy of certainty and fulfillment. You are acknowledging its reality on the vibrational plane, the precursor to all physical manifestation. This sends an unequivocal signal to the universe that you are not just hoping, but knowing. Consider someone whose deepest intention is to experience a loving, supportive partnership. Living the echo might involve them cultivating self-love and wholeness now, creating space in their life for a partner, and engaging in activities that bring them joy and connection, as if that partnership were already a quiet, steady presence. Gratitude in advance would sound like, I am so deeply grateful for the loving, harmonious, and inspiring partnership that enriches every aspect of my life. This isn't about fabricating a person. It's about embodying the feeling state of that fulfilled connection. As you practice this embodied resonance and advanced gratitude, you create a powerful magnetic field. The synchronicities that then appear often act as the universe's way of filling in the blanks, bridging the gap between your established inner reality and its eventual outer expression. You might then find yourself coincidentally meeting people who resonate with that desired partnership energy, or stumbling upon resources that support your journey towards wholeness. The synchronicities become the tangible evidence that your inner alignment is powerfully shaping your outer world. This is the art of making your inner truth so compelling that reality itself bends to match it. But what happens when the echoes from the universe seem faint? Or perhaps the cosmic orchestra plays a tune that is difficult to decipher? What if, despite your most sincere efforts to set intentions and align your vibration, the synchronicities feel scarce, confusing, or even seem to lead you down unexpected winding paths? How do we learn the subtle art of listening when the universe whispers, or when its messages arrive in complex coded scores? It is in these quiet enigmas, perhaps, that the universe invites our deepest listening, our most patient trust. The art of co-creation involves not only sending clear signals to the universe, but also skillfully interpreting its nuanced replies. Synchronicities are this divine feedback, yet the universe rarely speaks in plain, literal language. It communicates through a rich tapestry of symbols, feelings, and perfectly timed encounters, a language that is profoundly personal. This is where the concept of your personal synchronicity lexicon becomes paramount. There isn't a one-size-fits-all dictionary for decoding these cosmic messages. While certain symbols might carry broad archetypal meanings across cultures, the most potent interpretations will always resonate with your unique history, your personal associations, and your inner landscape. A feather might be a sign of angelic presence for one, a reminder of lightness for another, or a specific memory trigger for a third. The universe speaks your language. Therefore, the first key to interpretation is deep self-reflection. When a synchronicity appears, pause. Ask yourself, what was I just thinking or feeling? What is the predominant question or theme in my life right now? What personal significance does this image, number, animal, or event hold for me? Your inner knowing, your intuition, is your primary translator. Consider also the varying intensities with which the universe communicates, much like a conversation that can range from a subtle hint to an urgent call. We might experience what I call stardust whispers, those gentle, almost fleeting synchronicities like recurring number patterns, a song that plays with just the right lyrics, or a word or phrase that seems to follow you. These are often gentle nudges, affirmations, or reminders to stay aware. Then there are the planetary alignments, the more noticeable nudges. These could be an unexpected meeting with someone who offers precisely the help you need, a book that practically falls off the shelf into your hands with the answer to a burning question, or a sudden, unforeseen opportunity that perfectly matches an intention you've set. These signals often call for a more direct response or consideration. And occasionally, we experience supernova impacts, major life-altering synchronicities that are impossible to ignore. These often occur during significant turning points, crises, or when we are making profound decisions. They can feel like the universe itself has rearranged reality to get our attention, powerfully guiding or redirecting our path. To navigate this rich symbolic language and identify its recurring patterns, keeping a cosmic field journal, a synchronicity diary, can be an invaluable tool. Document the signs you notice, the context in which they appeared, your thoughts and feelings at the time, and any insights that arose. Over time, this journal becomes your personal Rosetta Stone, revealing the unique ways the universe communicates directly with you. Carl Jung, the very psychologist who coined the term synchronicity, meticulously journaled his own experiences, recognizing the profound insights that emerge from tracking these meaningful coincidences. Think of yourself then, not merely as a passive recipient of signs, but as an active decipherer of waking dreams. The synchronicities you encounter are often fragments of the universe's symbolic, dreamlike language manifesting in your daily life. Your intuition, sharpened by mindful attention and reflective journaling, becomes your most trusted instrument of translation, allowing you to understand the personal messages encoded within these cosmic whispers. The co-creative dance with the universe is not always a continuous flow of clear, affirmative signals. There will be times when, despite your best intentions and vibrational efforts, the synchronicities seem to diminish, become confusing, or even lead you down paths that feel like detours. How do we navigate these periods of cosmic silence or puzzling messages? First, let us consider the orchestral silence. When the stream of synchronicities seems to dry up, it's rarely a sign of abandonment or that your efforts are in vain. More often, this silence is a meaningful pause in the symphony. It can be the universe's way of saying, rest. Integrate what you have already learned and received. It might be an invitation to deepen your inner work, to refine your intention with greater clarity, or perhaps it indicates that the energetic seeds you've planted are in a necessary germination period, gathering strength beneath the surface before they sprout. Sometimes, the silence simply means you already possess the crucial insight or next step, and the universe is patiently waiting for you to trust your inner knowing and act upon it. It's not always a no, but often a not yet or look within. Then there are the cosmic enigmas, those synchronicities that feel contradictory to your intentions, or perhaps even carry a challenging or negative emotional charge. These are not punishments, nor are they necessarily indicators that you are off track. Instead, view them as profound opportunities for deeper inquiry. A dissonant echo from the universe might be inviting you to honestly examine your core intention. Is it truly aligned with your soul's deepest calling, or is it perhaps colored by egoic desires or societal conditioning? Such puzzling signals can also illuminate hidden internal blockages, limiting beliefs, unresolved fears, or past traumas that are creating static in your vibrational broadcast, thus attracting experiences that mirror that inner dissonance. The synchronicity, in this case, acts as a compassionate, if sometimes uncomfortable, diagnostic tool, pointing you towards areas ripe for healing and release. And sometimes, what appears to be a confusing detour, a synchronicity that seemingly leads you away from your desired path, is actually a moment of divine redirection. The universe, with its vaster perspective, may be gently or firmly steering you away from a less optimal route, or preparing you for an even grander manifestation than you had initially conceived. Trust that even the detours can be sacred, leading you to unforeseen treasures or necessary lessons. This brings us to a crucial element in the art of co-creation, surrendering the how and the when. You, as the conscious co-creator, are the composer of the core melody, your heartfelt intention, and your embodied feeling state. However, the universe is the master arranger and the conductor of an infinitely complex orchestra. It knows the precise timing, the perfect blend of instruments, and the most harmonious pathways for your intention to manifest in its fullest glory. Attempting to micromanage the process, to rigidly dictate every step and turn, can inadvertently constrict the flow and limit the creative genius of your cosmic partner. Embrace the mystery of the unfolding. With this evolving understanding of intention, vibration, and the universe's responsive dialogue through synchronicities, both clear and enigmatic, what then is the most profound, the most liberating, unfiltered truth about your inherent role in this magnificent, ongoing cosmic opera? We have journeyed through the power of your intention as a clear call to the universe, explored the necessity of aligning your inner vibrational orchestra, understood how the law of attraction responds to this resonance, and learned to interpret synchronicities as the active, ongoing dialogue in this co-creative dance. Now, let us draw these threads together to unveil the most profound, empowering, and unfiltered truth at the heart of it all. The moment of truth arrives when you realize this. You are not a separate, isolated entity, petitioning a distant universe or a remote god for signs and favors. The deepest, most unfiltered truth is that you are an individualized spark, a unique expression of the very same primordial creative consciousness that births galaxies and breathes life into all things. You are not merely in dialogue with the universe. You are, in essence, the universe in dialogue with itself through the focused lens of your awareness. This realization is the ultimate liberation. It dissolves the illusion of separation, the feeling of smallness or powerlessness in the face of vast cosmic forces. Instead, it instills a deep and abiding sense of belonging, of intrinsic worth, and of an inherent divine partnership. The synchronicities, then, are not just messages from Source. They are the luminous points of contact where your individual consciousness knowingly meets and merges with the all-consciousness. They are the tangible proof of this inherent unity, the evidence that the Creator and the creation are in constant, intimate communion, and that this sacred conversation is happening through you, as you. Embrace this powerful and encouraging synthesis. Your capacity to set a clear intention is your divine birthright to initiate creation. Your ability to cultivate a high and coherent vibration is your power to attune yourself to the harmonious frequencies of manifestation. Your skill in perceiving and interpreting synchronicities is your innate faculty for understanding the responsive language of the cosmos. These are not special abilities reserved for a gifted few. They are the inherent operational dynamics of a conscious being, fully engaged in the creative act of experiencing itself. You are here, not as a passive observer of a pre-written script, but as a vital co-architect, a co-designer of your unfolding experience, and the universe, in its boundless intelligence and love, is fully equipped, ever-present, and profoundly eager to build with you. This is the unfiltered truth of your magnificent potential. Now that we've unveiled the profound truth of your co-creative nature, let's ground this understanding in a simple yet potent daily practice. A ritual designed to consciously ignite and nurture your dialogue with the universe through synchronicities. Think of this as tending to your synchronicity spark each day, fanning the flames of your partnership with the cosmos. This ritual, requiring only a few minutes, is built on 3 core pillars: conscious connection and intention in the morning, mindful observation throughout your day, and reflective gratitude in the evening. First, upon waking, or before you fully immerse yourself in the demands of the day, take just 2 or 3 minutes for a morning connection. Close your eyes, take a few deep centering breaths. Feel yourself not just as a physical body, but as that vibrant spark of the creative cosmos we spoke of. Then, with this sense of connection, declare a clear, heartfelt intention for your day. This doesn't need to be a grand life goal. It can be focused on a quality of being you wish to embody or experience, or a specific type of guidance you seek. For example, today I choose to radiate and attract joyful clarity in my creative projects. Universe, my beloved partner, dance with me in this frequency and lovingly show me the steps through clear and uplifting signs. The key is to feel the essence of this intention as already alive within you. Second, as you move through your day, practice conscious observation. This isn't about hyper-vigilantly hunting for signs, which can create anxiety. Instead, cultivate a state of relaxed, open awareness. Maintain a gentle inner radar for those unexpected nudges, those seemingly small coincidences or patterns that resonate with the intention you set. It's like listening for a specific melody in a bustling city. Once you know what you're listening for, you begin to hear it amidst the noise. Third, before you sleep, engage in a brief 2-minute evening recognition. Gently scan your day. Did any sparks of synchronicity appear, however subtle? Perhaps it was a phrase you read, an unexpected call, a sudden insight, or even a challenging moment that, in retrospect, offered a hidden lesson aligned with your intention. Note these, mentally or in your cosmic field journal. Crucially, offer specific gratitude not just for the signs themselves, but for the dialogue, for the responsiveness of your cosmic partner. Thank you for the clarity that came through that unexpected conversation. Or, thank you for the feeling of peace that guided that decision. This simple daily ritual, connect, observe, recognize, powerfully strengthens your co-creative muscles. It trains your intention, sharpens your perception of synchronicities, and deepens your trust in the responsive nature of the universe. You'll begin to notice how even your simplest, heartfelt intentions can elicit swift and meaningful cosmic replies, transforming your daily life into a continuous, flowing conversation with the divine, building your confidence and skill as an empowered co-creator, one day, one spark at a time. As we draw this exploration to a close, let the essence of our journey settle within you. Remember, you are not merely a seeker of signs, but a source from which aligned experiences can flow. You are the intention that calls forth, the vibration that resonates and attracts, and the conscious interpreter of the universe's luminous, echoing replies. In the most profound sense, you are capable of becoming a living synchronicity, a walking, breathing testament to the harmonious dance between your individual will and the universal flow, a point where divine intelligence and human experience meet and converse with grace. Howard Thurman, a deeply insightful spiritual guide and civil rights leader, once offered this wisdom: don't ask what the world needs, ask what makes you come alive, and go do it. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive. This beautifully encapsulates the heart of co-creation. When you align with your truest intentions, when you cultivate a vibration of joy, love, and purpose, when you truly come alive, you naturally become a beacon for synchronicities that not only guide your path, but also ripple outwards, inspiring and uplifting the world around you. So, as you step forward from this moment, carry this question with you, not as a burden, but as a gentle, empowering invitation. If you knew, with an unshakable inner certainty, that the universe is perpetually listening, always responsive, and profoundly supportive of your highest evolution, what magnificent music, what heartfelt intention, would you choose to broadcast into the cosmos today? What conversation are you ready to begin? If this unfiltered truth about your power to co-create with synchronicities has ignited a spark within your soul, please honor that resonance by liking this video, sharing it with others who may be seeking this clarity, and subscribing to Mystic Sages for more deep dives into the art of conscious living and spiritual partnership. And now, we would be deeply grateful to hear from you. In the comments below, please share. What is the first note, the first clear intention that you will send out to the universe today as you step more fully into your role as a conscious co-creator? Share your spark. Let us learn and grow together in this magnificent, unfolding dialogue.